Hello everyone, this is Satish here. I hope you guys are doing wonderful. So, until yesterday, we were discussing. Actually, we were discussing about yogas in Vedic astrology. So yesterday we have discussed about Ketu in conjunction with Sun. Okay. So today we are discussing about Ketu in conjunction with Saturn in Vedic birth chart. So the reason why I started the conjunction series is because there's a lot more to cover in astrology. So a lot of people, these are very important yogas which I'm sharing in the in my live series. Ideally, we were supposed to discuss planets in different houses in Vedic birth chart. I took you guys a little bit away from the regular topics because I want you guys to make the sessions even more interesting in nature. So that is the reason, I thought of covering up some more important yogas in Vedic astrology. So today we'll be discussing about Ketu in conjunction with Saturn in Vedic birth chart. Okay. So I can see a couple of guys joining. Hi Bikesh Gautam. Hi Uma. Thanks for joining. Hi Neha. Thanks for joining. Nice to see you here. Okay, guys, so let's get into the topic. So, what exactly is Saturn? Saturn is considered as law, order. Saturn is considered as hard work. Saturn is considered as career, profession. Saturn is considered as stubbornness. Saturn is considered as hard work, righteousness, law, order, discipline, justice. Okay, these are all Saturn. Saturn represents the profession in your Vedic birth chart. Whereas Ketu represents obstacles, Ketu represents isolation, Ketu represents detachment from the materialistic issues, and also Ketu represents sacrifice. Ketu represents confusion. On the positive sides, Ketu represents spirituality. Ketu represents righteousness. Ketu represents enlightenment. Ketu represents interest in occult sciences. So when these two planets comes in conjunct in the Vedic birth chart, so I would like to provide you the prediction and what exactly happens when Ketu comes in conjunction with Saturn. For example, let's say Saturn and Ketu are in conjunct. That means two planets are situating in your Vedic birth chart in one house. Then it is considered as Saturn Ketu conjunction. Let's say Saturn is placed in your first house and Ketu is placed in the fourth house, or Ketu is placed in the seventh house, or Ketu is placed in the 10th house. This is also considered as conjunction between Saturn and Ketu. So Saturn and Ketu should be 1, 4, 7, 10 places apart from in your birth chart. So then this prediction applies for you depending upon the strength of Ketu, depending upon the strength of Saturn, depending upon the degrees that is placed, depending upon the degree of the planets placed in your Vedic birth chart, the prediction varies. Okay, so let's get into the analysis. What happens when Saturn and Ketu comes into the conjunction in your Vedic birth chart? So we discussed about that. Ideally, Saturn considered as a profession, and whereas Ketu considered as obstacles, Ketu considered as separation, detachment, and all that. So when these two planets comes in conjunct in your Vedic birth chart, most importantly, you'll be facing a lot of professional breaks in your career. So why? Because Saturn represents career and whereas Ketu represents the detachment, Ketu represents obstacles. So you will not be happy across one profession or with one organization. You will keep changing, and also there comes a little bit of gaps in your horoscope, especially if Saturn and Ketu is placed in your first house, fourth house, seventh house, and 10th house. These guys will be having a lot of professional breaks. These people ideally leaves the companies or organizations, or if they're working under somebody, because of some kind of conflicts or politics happening in their organization. Because Ketu is a planet of politics, Ketu is a planet of obstacles. So when these two planets comes into conjunction with each other in your Vedic birth chart, there comes the professional disturbances, and thus comes the termination or resignation from the company. And these guys will be taking a little bit of break from their career, and then they'll be starting their career again. And one positive trait of this conjunction is these people are very much workaholic in nature. You cannot compete with this person in terms of their delivery of work, in terms of their working attitude, in terms of their work ethics. These people are very dedicated, determined in terms of the work that is being provided to them. You cannot, it's impossible to match with this kind of person. They are quite a workaholic and hardworking people. And Saturn and Ketu combination provides a great writing skills because Ketu can think out of the box. Okay, Ketu can think out of the box, and Saturn represents the career. So this person emerged as a great author, great poet, and great astrologer, because Ketu represents spirituality and Saturn represents career. So great astrologers, occult sciences, spiritual healers. Okay, so people who are with the law, or law people who are into the law profession. Okay, because Ketu represents the thinking out of the box. That means dealing with the people, dealing with very crucial issues, okay, complicated issues. So ideally, this placement can be seen as a very disciplined lawyer or as well as judge. Okay, the law field can be seen, the law profession can be seen from this combination. And also Ketu represents surgeries as well. Ketu represents surgeries, so great surgeons, dentists, and also the people who deal with a lot of hospitality related instruments. Okay, that kind of professions these people will be taking it up. And also, as I mentioned to you, any profession related to spirituality, running the NGOs, running the what you say, spiritual organizations. Okay, anything, any career related to spirituality, like spiritual healers. We talked about it. Tarot card readers, okay, occult sciences, or Vedic healer, or Vedic priests, or Vedic pundits. All these placements, they will be having a strong Saturn plus Ketu combination. And Saturn represents acquiring of money, acquiring of Saturn represents basically profession and incoming flow of income as well through the profession. And Ketu represents detachment. So at one point of time, if at all, depending upon the strength of Saturn and Ketu, these people will be feeling, array, at one point of time, array, I was so much moved in my life, I'm not understanding of the direction of the life. So these people gets into the pathway of spirituality at one point of time. There comes a great transformation in them, that they'll be very much bored with their materialistic life, and they will takes up spirituality as a profession, spirituality as their endeavor. And they even try to change the people. They try to make other people also to follow into the spirituality. So that combination is being seen, because the Saturn represents the career profession, whereas Ketu represents spirituality. When these two planets comes into the conjunction with each other, so there comes, this person becomes a great spiritual in nature, great, and also the person who can able to influence somebody to into spirituality. So that kind of combination is been clearly seen as per the sage Parashara in his Bruhat Hora Shastra. Okay, and this person also gains the knowledge in the many areas of the life. It's not that he'll be having interest on one area of the life. This person is capable of gaining the knowledge in the different areas of life, in the different subjects of the life. And these people will be successful in those, in their endeavors as well, because Saturn is the kind of professional, the planet of career profession. So this combination, Ketu represents spirituality, Ketu represents the different areas in our life. I mean, our concentration towards many things in our life is being derived from the planet Ketu. Okay, when Saturn and Ketu combination comes together, this person show a lot of interest in different areas of the life. And these people will not be prolonged with one profession. For a couple of years they'll be in one profession, immediately they'll be moving to the other profession. And after a couple of years they'll be moving to other profession. Especially after the age of 35, you'll see this kind of gradual changes happening in the domain or career. They will not be stick to one profession at the same time. They'll be doing a multiple professions in their life, multiple domains of profession, multiple industries these guys will take it up. Okay, and yeah, interest in spiritual occult sciences have covered already. Workaholic I have already covered. And yeah, especially after the age of Tej Parashara says, especially of the age of 30, these guys will actually see the effects of Saturn and Ketu in their horoscope. Okay, so especially between the age of 31 to age 42, this combination effects are seen very much in the person's life. Okay, and if at all, let's say Ketu is strongly afflicted by by Mars or any negative planet like Mercury or Venus, then this person will have a lot of problems with the concentration. They will not be showing interest on anything. And the opposite side of it, which is whatever I have told you right now. Saturn and Ketu should be free from the malefics, that is, especially from Venus and Mars as well as Mercury. If Venus, Mercury, Mars, we're seeing this Saturn and Ketu combination, then you will say a lot of negative effect. This person will not show interest on anything. These people will be detached from the materialistic world totally. Okay, they will not have any interest on doing any kind of profession, or there'll be a lot of confusion that is prevailing into the person's mind in terms of getting into a direction. And also getting the materialistic wealth also becomes very tough for this person, because Venus is the karaka for wealth, Mars is the karaka for property, ancestral property, technology, and all that. And Mercury is the planet of business. So nothing will be favored for this person if at all Mercury or Venus is in conjunct with Saturn and Ketu as well. Or if Venus or Mercury is been aspecting Saturn and Ketu, the same thing follows as well. Okay, getting the materialistic gains will become very tough for this person. Okay, and and in terms of decision making, these guys are Saturn and Ketu combination people who are having Saturn and Ketu combination in the first house, fourth house, 10th house, and seventh house. These people are very stubborn in terms of taking their decisions. These people will not be involving a lot of people in terms of their decision making. These people take their individual decisions. Most importantly, uh, it will not be agreed by their elders or something, agreed by their family relatives and all that, because Ketu represents confusion. Ketu represents what you say, independent nature. Okay, Saturn represents a kind of push in terms of taking up the decisions. Okay, when these two planets comes into the conjunction, these people take a lot of independent decisions. Mostly the decisions with these guys takes up, it will not be favored to others. It will be favored to for these people, and that's creates a lot of conflict with the relatives as well as family, and that's how these people get detached for their own. uh, they get detached from the family and also from the homeland. These people mostly will be excelled well in the foreign lands, especially if Saturn Ketu combination is there in your 6th house or 12th house. This placement takes away from the homeland, especially from your relatives. You'll be totally detached. You'll be just in touch, just say hello, hi, or something. Not so much great relationships, because Ketu is all about detachment. Okay, and Saturn represents the homeland. If Saturn represents away from the homeland. Let's say if Saturn and Ketu combination comes in together in the 12th house. 12th house represents foreign settlements. So these guys will settle in the foreign lands. They'll not have any kind of interest to come back to the homeland and settle along with the neighbors and all that. Okay, so that is being seen in this combination. Yeah, professional disturbance, we already talked about it. So depending upon the Saturn and Ketu combination, depending upon the Saturn and Ketu conjunction with each other, we should even examine the degrees as well, how close they are. If Saturn is at 2 degrees and the Ketu is at 24 degrees, that is not considered as conjunction. Conjunction is that if Saturn is, example I'm saying, if Saturn is staying in your horoscope at 10 degrees and Ketu is staying at 15 degrees, then that is called as conjunction, because between 10 and 15 it is only 5 degrees apart. So we should see how much near these guys are staying together. And let's say if Saturn is in first house and Ketu in the 7th house, 4th house, and 10th house, this is also considered as conjunction. These people are aspecting to each other. Okay. So Saturn and Ketu, and to summarize, Saturn and Ketu conjunction creates some kind of professional disturbances in their creates professional disturbances and also conflicts with their colleagues and also on all that. That's how these guys will get separate from their organizations, and they'll have little bit of breaks in their career. And Saturn and Ketu combination also provides one of the good trait about this combination is this this placement makes the person very much workaholic. Okay, it is impossible to compete with this kind of person because they're quite a workaholic, and these people take a very independent decisions and may not be, they'll not involve others in terms of taking the decisions. And also if Saturn and Ketu gets aspected by Venus, Mars, and Mercury, these people have a lot of issues in terms of concentrating on certain thing and focusing upon certain niche. Okay, these people keep switching about their domains and they will not be performing on anything. That kind of combination. Okay. Yeah, and Saturn and Ketu combination provides interest in spirituality because Ketu is the planet of spirituality, enlightenment. Okay, Saturn is the planet of career, profession, and all that. So this placement gives a very good career in terms of if somebody wants to get into spiritual field and also law field, as I mentioned to you, medical field like surgeons and all that, because Ketu represents surgery and Saturn represents profession, and Ketu represents law and order. Saturn represents profession. So the great lawyers, the great writers, and Ketu represents the writing skills as well, because Ketu have a ability to think out of the box like Mercury. Okay, like Mercury, Ketu has the ability to think out of the box. So this combination makes the person to take independent decisions. But only thing is, because Saturn and Ketu are not friends to each other, you guys need to understand that. As per our friendship table that we have discussed, Saturn is not friendly with Ketu because Ketu comes under the Jupiter team basically. And Saturn team is a little different. For Saturn, the friends are Venus, Rahu, as well as Mercury, whereas for Ketu the friends are Sun, Moon, Mars and Jupiter. Okay, so when Saturn Ketu combination comes, you will see only 30% of good things, the good things about taking the independent decisions and also quite a workaholic thing and all that. But 70% of the effects will be a little bit of negative, a little bit of disappointments and all that. And this creates a lot of confusion in their mind, confusion in terms of deciding the pathway towards their life, because Saturn is the planet of materialistic in nature, Ketu is the planet of non-materialistic in nature. So when these two planets comes into the conjunction, these people have a lot of confusion in terms of understanding the pathway towards their life. If at all Saturn and Ketu are very much close to each other in your horoscope, at one point of time you'll be losing the interest on everything and you'll be taking up the pathway towards spirituality. In fact, we have seen certain characteristics, certain people who suddenly, avoids everything, all the materialistic values in them, and totally turn out into a spiritual side. Okay, we are coming up across such people as well. So those people have very strong Saturn Ketu in their horoscope. Okay, so that's it from my side. Please watch this video if at all you have joined in the middle of the session. And if you guys have any questions, you guys can put it in the comment box. And if you guys need my one-on-one consultation, I'm always available. You guys can able to check out the link in the announcement section. So I'm always there. You can book for the one-on-one. I can able to read your birth chart. I can provide you the SWOT analysis. What is strengths, what's weakness, what's the opportunities, and what are threats in your horoscope. Okay. For the weaknesses and threats, I'll be providing you certain kind of remedies. A lot of people are getting benefited out of the remedies which I'm giving from the in your horoscope affliction. So you guys can perform that and can get ease out from the problems. Okay, astrology is very beautiful. If at all you take astrology as a pathway towards your life, you will be successful for sure, because astrology is an ancient subject which have solutions for everything, which will define you the purpose of this life, which will define you the characteristics of you, which will define you the SWOT analysis through your birth chart. Okay, it's everything there. You just need an astrologer who can thoroughly read your birth chart and can provide you the prediction analysis along with the remedies. Okay, that's it from my side. Thank you so much for watching this video. I can see a couple of guys join. Please watch the replay. So because I have covered a lot many concepts at the start of the session, and bye for now, guys.